Well, what kind of attitude do you have? You got a tude? Lenny Wennerstrom with you, and I am here to help you find your purpose. So today is July 10th, day 192, 174 days left in the year. We are over 52% done with the year. So lots has been happening in my life. I'm living a life very, very full, and lots of adventure and all kinds of stuff. So let me read the passage as a tool, as in doing my very bestest to help you to find your purpose. I use a book by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. Oh, I bought one for my daughter and I don't know where it is. I just realized I'm here. I could be using hers. Anyway, I don't have it with me today, and I'll explain that in a minute, which I a little bit explained in yesterday's, in July 9th's video, which I recorded earlier today. So, but anyway, it's Dr. Shad Helmstetter, 365 Days of Positive Self-Talk for Finding Your Purpose. And we have with us Happy Beans and Feather. This is my bed for tonight. I am at my daughter's house. So, okay, so July 10th, this is the passage. When it comes to my attitude, I'm up. Do-do-do. We like up. When it comes to my goal, I'm going for it. When it comes to staying with it, I'm there. And when it comes to making my day an incredible day, I'm on it. I've got it, and I'm making it happen. So let me turn this around for you. And let's have your higher self be talking to you. When it comes to your attitude, oh wait, I already did that. When it comes to, yeah, I had it right. It's a little bit late here. When it comes to okay, 3, 2, 1, here I go. When it comes to your attitude, you're up. When it comes to your goal, you're going for it. When it comes to staying with it, you're there. And when it comes to making your day an incredible day, you're on it, you've got it, and you're making it happen. Very empowering, very good specific directions to your brain, neuroplasticity. This is what it's all about. You're giving it clear directions, and then you repeat those directions. Like you might read this phrase. We always talk about the app that is in the description, and it's in that app. What it is a self-talk language that Dr. Shad Helmstetter created. And so it's phrases like this that are very specific to the brain, telling the brain what it is that you are going to create in your life, like the programs that you are going to be running. When I say programs, I mean mental programs. So if you have heard that you don't have enough money when you grew up, like, yeah, we can't afford that. We can't afford that. We can't afford that. One, that's a program. You're coming from a place of lack, whether it be a family or a person or any of that, because there's only abundance in the universe and you get to create it. It may take planet Earth some time to create that, but when it's like, maybe you would say, rather than for yourself going forward, one of the things that you might want to say is, that's not in my budget right now, but that's not in my budget right now, and so it's not a priority. But you are moving, but then you are setting your goal as to what you do want in your life, and you're moving towards that, your financial goal. So you are creating your life. You're constantly creating your life. So it's your words are very, very powerful. We've talked a few days ago, we talked about how that basically the progression of, like, the belief. You have a belief, then you have an attitude, and here we're talking about when it comes to your attitude, you have an attitude based on your belief. So what is it that you believe? And then you have an attitude around that, which creates the emotions, which creates the feelings around that, and then that creates your actions, and then your results, right? So what kind of results are you going to get if you have a belief that you don't have enough, that you are in lack? Then you're going to be your end results, your end actions that you take. They're probably going to be not in a positive way, because you're believing that you're in lack, and you probably have that self-esteem caught up in there, like you're not enough, you're not good enough, other people can make money but you can't, and you know, those kinds of things. They are stories, they are programs that we tell ourselves, and they are just that. They are not even true unless you believe them to be true, and if you believe them to be true, then that is your truth. And I honor your truth. I just hope that you elevate your beliefs to things that will actually help you and serve you, and that you understand your power. I'm all about empowering you. My whole thing is a practical spirituality that I teach, and that is the spiritual journey and the human experience. And the human experience is, when I talk about neuroplasticity in the brain, that's a very big part of it, because our self-talk, as a self-talk trainer, I really want you to focus on your self-talk, because your self-talk is what's going to create, it's going to create your reality. But your self-talk comes from your self-esteem, it comes from your beliefs. So if you believe that you are in lack, then you will come from a place of lack, and all your efforts will come from a place of lack, meaning that the world, the universe is not abundant, and therefore, when you, let me get my, because I had to let me find 5155, not to lose my spot. But my daughter had to send me a picture, because I don't have my book with me, of this. So I wanted to stay on, with this passage today. But your goals, when you set your goals, if you're coming from a place of lack, you might be coming from a place that that you don't believe in yourself. And this is why in my coaching, I will only coach peeparoos who are listening to the self-talk app. It's a self-talk language, because they are rewiring the brain. Again, neuroplasticity, which is the brain is constantly rewiring itself, and until your very last breath. It used to be that we thought that, once you were at a certain age, like after high school or something, that was the end of your brain, meaning that's as smart as you got, that's, whatever, you had reached the pinnacle. Not true at all. Not true at all. Your IQ, you can make your IQ bzz, whatever you want. You get to create your life. It's very empowering. Like to excuse me, to understand this. I might have to stop and get some water, but I don't want to do that, because I want to keep on going. So I hope that this has been really helpful to you, because you get to create your life. And I do want to just explain, because attitude is a very big thing. And again, it starts with your belief, so your attitudes. And it's interesting that your self-talk can really shift the way that you move yourself forward. When you can believe in yourself, and you do believe in yourself, and you know that you can trust yourself, and you decide how you're going to move yourself forward. And I'm going to give you a very good example, because I want to explain like why I'm here and what's going on, just because I love you, and I want to share that with you. So my hubby had he was diagnosed with a congestive heart failure several years ago, and so he had a lot of edema, so the swelling, and fluid was in his lungs, and it's totally I am not a person to believe that something is not curable. I I believe that we create and we change our own biology. It's not even Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, but I have learned long ago that, and I did this for myself when I had my 8 years, which I explained to you many videos ago, and just in short, I totally transformed my health, which was horrible. It was for Planet 3D, it was really bad, and I was constantly, not constantly, but many times I tried to take my life, because I was very unhappy. I had migraines that just wouldn't stop, and back pain, and it went on and on and on. Has COPD and other things. By the way, COPD, incurable. Totally cured. You create your own reality, and it may take time, and it takes effort and intention, but you get to create your own reality. You get to create your own health, your own wealth, your own happiness, all of that. The Master Key System is the book that I refer to quite a bit. That is one of the books by Dr. Charles F. Hannell. That is an amazing book. It can be a little difficult to get your head around the concepts, but it comes down to just this. If you want, and it's the very beginning of the book, if you want the health consciousness, if you want to be healthy, get the health consciousness. If you want to be wealthy, get the wealth consciousness. If you want to be happy, get the happiness consciousness. What does that mean? It already exists. We're moving into the spiritual journey here from my practical spirituality. It already exists. It's in the quantum field, in the unified field. It's all one. Everything exists already. And when you understand that and you believe it, it's a little difficult on planet Earth to believe that, because we can touch and feel things and see things, and this is a beautiful thing. Even pain, like pain, that's a contrast, right, to when we don't have pain. So it just shows us, like, what do I want? What do I want in my life? And we focus on what we want. When we focus on what we want in our lives rather than what we don't, it's very, very powerful, because then you're creating that. Your focus, remember, we're always, where your focus goes, energy flows, or where you place your focus, that's where you place your energy. So if your goals, this is why I talk about goals are practical, or are spiritual. It's a spiritual practice. Spiritual practice. You're bringing from the invisible into the visible, into the material world, what you can see: a business, a bank account that has more money, a new car, a new home, a new relationship. It's something that is maybe tangible, but also it's something you can see in the material world, and you are creating that by placing your focus. This is why I say goals are just so importante to work through, to create, and it just places your you are creating your life when you set those goals and you stay focused on them and you keep them in front of you. So, and I've taught you how to, the active goal setting that Dr. Shad created. It's very, very powerful. So you can just go back and look for, in my videos that say goal setting, goal setting is a spiritual practice or something of that nature. I've said it many, many times because I really want you to get it, because it's very empowering. You don't need me. You don't need anyone. You already have all the answers. You already have the ability to do all these things. Yet when we have someone that inspires us and keeps us motivated and reminds us, it's really good. And this is what I love about the spiritual mentors that I have and the people that I surround myself with, because when I start feeling a little down or feeling negative or fearful or any of those things which are on planet Earth, and we all go through them, I can bounce back so quickly, especially when I have someone by my side that reminds me. And I have my daughter, and I have like Dr. Shad, his books, the training, and he certified me both as a life coach and as a certified self-talk trainer. And so I have all of that, and then friends and family and other people's that I surround myself with. I don't surround myself with people who are negative and that pull me down, because that's their journey and those are their programs, and I recognize that. It's not judgment when I don't want to be with them, it's discernment. When I don't want to hang around them, it's discernment. So because I value feeling up, and I value creating the life that I want to create. So just a real quick thing with my hubby. He does really well, but he had to be flown out from where we live, a smaller town, and be flown out in a helicopter to the Denver area, to a hospital, to drain the fluid, because he was literally drowning from the fluid in his lungs. It had built up so much. So it was a pretty scary time, and so. But we got him there, and he flew out, but we had 3 hours to drive to get here. My daughter and I, she had gone out because he wasn't doing well, and now he's doing. He was in ICU, so they flew him into the cardiac ICU unit, and I'm going to tell you right now that you get to choose your own reality. And when I say this is, when they took him into the hospital, when they decided that he needed to move from a regular room where they were just moving the fluid off of him, that they couldn't do it quickly enough, they moved him into the ICU unit. And if you've seen on TV, it's like boom, 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 and people are doing this and getting that, and putting, the decision is made, and all of a sudden the protocols are in, and it's like, whew, And I made the decision as I was going through it. And did I have concern and everything? Of course I did. I love my husband. And could we have lost him? Sure. Could, just depending on what was going on. So could I have lost him? Lack, by the way. Could he have transitioned? Sure. And would I have felt lack on planet Earth? Yes. And I would have gone through that. That's the contrast, right? Contrast, and then like feeling joy, feeling sadness, or feeling grief, or all those things. That's the beauty of the human journey, the human experience. We get to feel all those things and feel that contrast. But this is not about that. I just want to just go through this very quickly with you, as quickly as I can. So then what I want to share with you is what is so amazingly beautiful, is that I decided when it all went from, because he couldn't breathe very well, and I was very concerned, and finally the doctor said, okay, ICU, and they moved him, and it was like IVs and this and that and stat. I never heard the word stat, but anyway, they moved stat. They get it down fast, and had to do some things that just were not easy to watch, and truly, because it had to be done very, very quickly. And I could have gotten swept up in the drama of, like when you watch on television, and it's like, because it was just like that, but it happening in my world, and I was going to say happening to me, it's happening for me, by the way. I keep that self-talk language. This is something that if I've chosen it, there isn't anything wrong with it. And this is where my spirituality and the spiritual journey lifts me, keeps me uplifted, and keeps me very grounded, and also knowing who and what I really am, and recognizing that I don't have to participate in it. I can see it how I want, participate in that drama. And so I removed myself from the drama and watched it objectively, and with compassion and love, and did everything that I possibly could. But I did not get not pulled into the fear, into the hurry, the rush, any of that. I made a conscious decision and choice to experience it and come from a place of no fear, that everything would be fine, and everything is a message to me for positive change, and it will be what it will be. This is what happens, and I don't know if this would bring you peace or how you feel about it, yet it brings me immense amount of peace, and the fear just dissipates. I flood myself with compassion energy for the human experience that can be very, very difficult, and then I just move through with love, and love and compassion. And then they were going to take him by ambulance, and then it had to be the helicopter had to come and whisk him away because they didn't have, in the smaller hospital, they didn't have the ability to do what they needed to do and have all the testing and the tools that they needed to ensure that he stayed alive. So they whisked him off straight as the crow flies, and we had to drive the 3 hours and from where we were to get to the Denver area. So that in itself, we were very, very tired, because it's been days and weeks, very honestly, because it's been building up, and so anyway, not weeks, but yeah, weeks. And so anyway, it became, that journey was very tiring, and my daughter drove, and she was very tired because it had been, I haven't gotten a lot of sleep in quite a while, because he's up through the nights. So it's very, very, it can really drain you, and you can get pulled into all of this stuff and the fear and all of that. And we really helped one another, because when the doctor came in and and explained, and this is a very grave situation, we need to talk to the family, this is a very grave situation, and and all this stuff, and and I just don't roll that way anymore. Like, I could feel it for a second, and then I recognize that this is her story, these are her programs. Understand where I'm coming from. These are all programs. She is trained that what they have is this medicine. They don't they have medicine, they have these tests, they have, and I get it, and I love it, and we used it, and I'm very grateful for it. We're on planet Earth. It is the human experience. I do believe that we create our own reality, and I do believe we also can change our biology and the way that we think and feel. And so when this doctor was coming from that place, I do not come from that space. I believe that we decide, like, first of all, we came here and we decided when we're going to enter and when we were going to exit. So if this was his exit in transition, then so be it. That's the way that rolls. And I knew that coming in. So, meaning coming into planet Earth. This might be a little high for you, you know, or a little out there or something, but this is what the things that I believe. And so maybe this is a good time for you to assess if these things are something that could help you, or maybe you have different beliefs that are differing. And so, but it's very, very empowering to come from that space of knowing that you get to decide how you want to create your life and where it's going, and that if you chose it all, it definitely, how could it possibly be wrong? And especially if there's no good or bad, right or wrong, or any of that stuff. We are living in this dual, in planet Earth, there's duality. There is the black and white, good and bad, wrong and right, you know, wet and dry, and all of that. But it's all one. It's all two sides of the same thing. It's in the unifying field, it's all one, and it all has value. As something as horrible or difficult as something is, it has value, because you can grow from that. You can see the contrast. You can feel the contrast and understand that being a human on planet Earth is such a privilege and such an honor to have this experience, because it is just an experience. And then we move into the whole, again, back to the ocean with the drops. And here are these drops, you know, just the wave goes, you know, hits this, and then all the waves and the spoon. I have it in Spanish in my head as spuma, but I don't know. Is it spume? I don't know. I'm a little tired. But anyway, so like here are all the little drops of the ocean, all the constituents of the ocean, and they're all, oops, Feather just jumped down. But it's all going, and Feather is the dog, in case you're new to my channel. If you are, welcome, by the way. And if you're already here, thank you for sharing my videos out. But anyway, so here's the drops, and they all have all the constituents of the ocean, all of it. It's just a matter of degree, right? Because then they go back into the ocean, like they have their experience of like, doing whatever they're doing. And then they drop back into the ocean and become one. And that's us. That's us with the one consciousness, the unified field. It's God, energy, source, higher energy, higher power, whatever you want to call it. But that's when the drop in the ocean, it's just a matter of degree that it's not the ocean. We are just a matter of degree that we're not the unified field. And this is why it's such an honor and a privilege that we've chosen to be here to experience all of this, and we get to create it. We are the director of all of that. So it's very empowering, and so this is why and just bringing it all back, that I choose, like, your choice, your free will. You have the choice. You get to choose how you want to see things, do things, think things, believe things. And so this is why I bring my self-talk and really do my very bestest to help you to elevate your self-talk, to empower yourself, to believe in yourself, and to get that app, because that app is the self-talk language that Dr. Shad Helmstetter created, so that it rewires your brain, so that not only are you saying it all the time, it's repeat, 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 because in neuroplasticity, the rule is, the main rule is repetition. Repetition. The more it's repeated, the more it gets wired into your brain as a permanent program. that you actually start believing. And it's the easiest way, the easiest way to change your brain to be so empowered. It's so easy to do. You're listening 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night. So to wrap this all up, it's hubby's fine. He's in the hospital tonight, and he's fine enough to where I could actually come to my daughter's home and get some rest and sleep through the night. And it's, I don't know what time it is. It's 10:45 in Denver time, which is mountain. And so I want to get the rest that I so would love to have and definitely deserve. And but I wanted to do this video first for you and just let you know that everything is fine and wonderful, and that you too, when you run into something that is so difficult for you, that you get to choose how you want to view it. Do you want to be pulled into the rush of something that feels so drama and like on TV, or can you stand back and observe and recognize that it's a choice to have fear, a choice to feel in lack, a choice to, and this is why I love the spiritual part of what I teach, the spiritual journey. There's so much peace around it. It's a belief system, right? It's my belief in it, but it's one that I choose. And I chose in a very, could have been a very difficult, could be crying, and doesn't mean that I didn't. Several times I felt very crumbly. I've mentioned that before. I've had a few days where I feel crumbly, like I'm about to crumple and crumble, and and then it's like, wait a minute, that's a story you're telling yourself, Lenny. Like nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And you might say, oh yeah, you got an emergency going on. Something has changed. The energy has changed. Yes, there's there are things that need to happen on planet Earth. Yet I'm still the essence and spirit of light. I am pure light, and everything is perfect, and it's just an experience, and I get to choose how I go through that experience. Do I want to go through it very low frequency, filled with fear, filled with lack, filled with just distrust of self, knowing that everything's going to be fine, distrust of the universe, that it's not exactly as it's supposed to be, and it's not highest and best for where I'm at, and there's not something that's to be around the corner, that's something to be learned or gained, and I choose to come from that space. And I knew when I made the conscious decision, when it went from, not being able to breathe, very, very difficult to watch someone, and I know because I literally almost died on my own. It's when it wasn't by my hand. It was when all of a sudden I recognized that I no longer could breathe, and it was out of my control. It wasn't me trying to kill myself. It was actually, life was ebbing out of me because I could not breathe. So I totally get this, and that's when I totally switched, and began my journey, and that was many moons ago. So I recognized that we have that power. And so when I saw him really not being able to breathe very well, it's very difficult, as I say, to watch. And then when it moved from that to ICU, this is a panic. This is like, we got to get this stuff done, not a panic, right? They wouldn't say panic. They're trained, they know what they're doing. But yet everybody around is like, oh, this is happening, that's happening. And it's like, okay, let it happen, and observe, and don't get pulled into that drama. And I didn't, and it felt really, really, every single time I get stronger and stronger and stronger. Does not mean that it's not difficult or challenging. I'll just say it that way. I tell myself, you got this, Lenny, you can do this. And that self-talk, primo, it's so, so powerful. And it's a practice. It is a practice. The more you practice, the stronger you get. And for me, this was a moment to practice pulling back and observing. And I did that. And I was so proud of myself. And I felt so strong. And it didn't mean, again, that I didn't feel crumply here and there, and didn't have a few tears. When my brother Tony, I love him. He's a physical therapist. And he said, and he has so much, he's got a business that he's running, and he has so much he has going on. He's like, I'm going to drop everything and I'm going to be there. And I was like, I'm good. But just that love and that support, I, I felt like, oh, I just, like tears started welling up, just the love. That's the human experience. It's beautiful. It's such a privilege and such an honor. And then I get myself back, but I allow the emotions. And then I have compassion for the human journey, knowing that I am pure light, that is the essence. It's beautiful. You are the director. You get to decide how your life goes. I know this is gone. I'm now at 30 minutes, and it's really late, but I just want to share. It's late here in the video. It might not be late. It might be early, but deciding on when you're watching this, I want, from all of this, I want you to understand that even like when the flight, like the helicopter to take him, when they made that decision, it becomes even more, then there's more rush and more drama. And I thought, and I told him, I said, you know what, babe, because he was, a little more stabilized, and not very happy, not very comfortable, of course. And I said, if you could just, and I just kind of whispered to him, I said, if you could just do he loves helicopters. And I said, this is such a cool thing. I mean, I understand that this is very difficult, but if you could just try and enjoy that ride, in a helicopter, like how cool is that? So I took a little bit of video, and so, when I'll probably show it to him tomorrow or something, so he could see like what he went through, so he could kind of live that, but from the observer of it, and not the like feeling so horrible and not being able to breathe, but he was already stabilized, and so in that respect he was better. So anyway, it's just a choice of how you come through this, and even like lack of sleep, in the human journey, in the human experience, you need sleep. And I'm going to get some real quick, very soon. It's really amazing, your ability to direct how your emotions and your beliefs, and changing those beliefs, and understanding who and what you really are, and all of that just all ties into just oneness and pure love, and understanding your power, and empowering yourself with that understanding, and understanding who and what you really are, and how very powerful you really are. So watching TV and the news and all these negative things, which basically you become addicted to these like adrenaline, like, oh my God, there's a car accident, and this and that and that. Those things, if you are looking for them, they will always show up for you. I rarely see these kinds of things. Things happen. It's not about changing. It's about where you place your focus, energy flows. And this is why the goal setting is so powerful, because you get to direct and decide what you want to do. You do not need to focus on wars and politics and what's going on in the world. It doesn't mean you're not aware. It doesn't mean that you're ignorant to it. It doesn't mean you don't have compassion for it. But do you want to participate in it? Do you want to participate in the separation, the story, the drama of it? Because if you do, that's fine. That's the 3D world. That's the material world that you are participating in. And you can choose that. You can choose that money is all important to you, your relationships all important to you, like all of that stuff. You can choose anything in the 3D world, clothes, whatever you want. But there's so much there's so much more to all of that. You can have all of that, and you can have that, and you can bring that to you. It's not attracting. It literally is where you are vibrating. And when you are vibrating at love and compassion and joy and these elevated emotions, this is where those higher things this is where those things that you want, that are good and abundant in an abundant universe, that's where those things live. So, and I think I'll give you an example of that, not now because it's really late, but I actually have a case study of that my daughter and I were talking about. So that makes it very, very clear. And I'll explain that to you because it's really powerful. Yet I'll just leave you with this. You get to create your own reality. You really do. You are very, very powerful. So let me see if I can use her phone to get my little, because I want to read it to you one last time. Oh, I did, hold on, 5-1. Okay. Oops. There. I had to find this is like the longest one, I think, and here I am. It's just, I have learned and I have empowered myself to such an extent, and I've seen like this practice. I wanted to share it with you while I'm feeling it, even though I'm tired. And if I am mumbling, it's many reasons, but okay, so I'm just going to read this one last time, and as how Dr. Shad wrote it for July 10th. Okay? When it comes to my attitude, I'm up. When it comes to my goal, I'm going for it. When it comes to staying with it, I'm there. That's determination, by the way. And when it comes, oh, don't go away. And when it comes to making my day an incredible day, I'm on it, I've got it, and I'm making it happen. You are in control, you're the director. I'm using her phone so I could read it because she sent me that. And I know I bought her the book, but she already went to bed. So this is what I have. This is how I do it. This is how I do it. Baby, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. I love you so very, very much. Oh, thank you for hanging in there with me. Thank you for learning. Thank you for elevating your attitude, and for considering changing your beliefs for beliefs that serve you, that you're not in lack. Thank you for considering finding your purpose, because your purpose gives you meaning, and that meaning gives you direction in your life. Your purpose gives you direction. You can look at it as your mission. It is your mission, why you came here. Why did you come here? Having that purpose really helps you know exactly. Like, I know I'm coming to do these videos for you, like every night, and I couldn't do it yesterday. And there's some days, that I miss, but I always come back. I always get it done. I'm very super consistent because I value this. I value you. I value this. I value our relationship. I value what we are learning together. And I value this is part of my purpose. And the more I can grow my message and this channel, and Dr. Shad's message of, the neuroplasticity, which is my message as well, part of my message, that you can do and be and change and create absolutely anything. You can have absolutely anything. It's all within your power, because your power is you are so powerful. And when you don't allow the 3D world of drama and negativity and things that you can't have and can't be and can't do, and other people have it but you don't, which is separation, by the way. It's all one. And when we judge another, like, wow, look at what they're wearing today. Well, you're judging yourself. It's creating separation. We are all one. And so just to understand your power and how you think, the power of your thoughts, the power of your words. Your words are energy. They are real. Your heart is magnetic. Your brain is electrical. So you've got this electrical magnetic. Are you pulling love in, or are you pushing like the magnet? You're repelling. You have a crappy attitude and nobody wants to be around you. You're repelling the magnet, right? Or are you pulling in loving? That's the attraction of the magnet, right? And so it's really, really beautiful. And the electrical, the frequency, it's very real. In frequency is information. And so you can't see it, but it is more powerful than what you can see, because you are bringing, no matter what, you're bringing from the invisible what you cannot see. You're bringing it into the visible. And I'm going to say it again, but like this phone, somebody thought about this phone, and then they created this comforter, this couch, that fireplace, this house. Somebody thought about this shirt, and they had a thought, and then they created it from the invisible to the visible, from a thought. That's the power, and that's the power of goal setting. They set a goal. I'm going to sew this shirt. I'm going to do it by, that's the dating it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. It's probably the longest one I've ever done. And I love you so very, very much. I hope you find value in it. I hope that you'll share this out with others that that are like-minded and have an open mind and believe in their own power, and that they may find some joy, some guidance, and some positivity, a lot of positivity and productivity to live. You know, you can have like the most amazing life, and you can create success in every single area of your life: financial, personal, your relationships, your happiness, your just everything. And it's all up to you. Doesn't mean that planet Earth, while you're here, you don't have the human experience. That's the beauty. You have contrast. Yeah, sometimes it's just not so fun, but other times it's like pure joy and bliss. And then you have that contrast. It's like, so what do you focus on? You focus on that contrast of the pure joy and bliss, right? The fun stuff, the things that make you alive, like your purpose, your mission, that gives you direction, and it brings you so much joy, and you feel that gratitude for it, and you're just so rewarded because you're giving of yourself, and it's beautiful. Okay. I love you so very, very much. Or you can do this. You can find your purpose. You can activate it. If you already know what it is, you can really move into it. You can add skills to it. You can do absolutely anything. I believe in you. I absolutely believe in you. I wouldn't show up if I didn't, because I know that you can do this. You can find your purpose, and you can create your own reality, and you can create success in every area of your life, especially if you understand neuroplasticity for the human experience, and rewiring your brain. And using Dr. Shad's app is such a good way. If you would like to work with me, I do have some spots available one-on-one, and I'm opening up coaching if you're interested in that for up to 5 people. I'm going to open up 2 hours of doing that. So if you're interested, just email me, Lenny@lennymotivates.com. Email me with the word winner. That was my word. I was going to say success, but let's just stay with winner, because you are a winner. If you want to put I'm a successful winner, of course. That's just the same thing. Anyway, I love you so very, very much, and you can do this. As always, shining my light to brighten yours. We'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.